Read then, lads and lasses, how we're doing, and welcome back to the channel. I'm pretty sure you all know by now that Newcastle United will not be playing European football next season. This is because Manchester United beat Manchester City in the FA Cup, and I've got to say, if I look a little bit down, a little bit gloomy in this video, this is because this video is being recorded around half an hour after Manchester United have won the FA Cup and denied Newcastle United the possibility of playing in the Europa Conference League next season. They even get the Europa League whilst finishing below us. It's the most Newcastle United thing ever, man. Honestly, do you know what it is? I was really angry at the time. I mean, the goals that they scored were so lucky, but you actually watch the game and Man City were not at it at all. We need the best team in the world to do us a favour, and they don't. But because Newcastle United unfortunately don't have European football next season, I've seen many people say, well lads, look, European football, none of it of course, is actually beneficial for Newcastle United. We'll get to prioritise the Premier League, we'll get to, you know, not have as many injuries. So in my opinion, I thought, do you know what it is? I'm going to make a video on this because I'm not going to lie, lads, I've got much more negatives to positives to why Newcastle United do need European football and why no European football is a big detrimental sign to the club. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, as of course it is a fan discussion video, you let me know down below, do you think having no European football is actually beneficial in Newcastle United? Don't feel sort of, you know, that you have to say, oh, because Jody Josh saying it is, I have to say it is as well. Of course, you can always have your view down in the comments below. Like if you do enjoy the video, and of course subscribe if you are new. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So like I hinted at the start of the video, we will go through the positives and the negatives. Of course, starting positive, which what is kind of positive. I mean, there's not a lot there. There is certainly more from negatives as well. It took us like 5 minutes to actually think of them and write them down on my laptop to my right. So what is positive about Newcastle United not getting European football? Sounds absolutely mental, but there is actually a fair few. Of course, the main one is we will have less games to play, which therefore means we can prioritise the Premier League and the domestic cups. Now, with obviously prioritising the Premier League and the domestic cups, Newcastle United, there needs to be some, you know, actual vision in this. If we are going to prioritise them, where are we going to finish in the Premier League? Because we cannot settle for another 7th place spot while bringing new faces in. Tonali's going to be back. Bruno and Isak can hopefully stay at the club. That'll come into the negative section, as I'm pretty sure you all would have guessed as well. So, in my opinion, if we can stay partly injury-free, Newcastle United with your Tonali's, Isaks, Brunos, and all of them, and yet again new faces, top 4. I don't want to say I expect for Newcastle United because, of course, I don't want to come across as arrogant, sort of, you know, actually demanding something from the club, because they already have give us fantastic times. But I think it's time for us to switch on a winning mentality, because for so many years and years we've just said, oh, we're just happy to be here, man, we're just happy to watch Newcastle. I think now, if we want to be a serious club, we have to switch it on and win, and I think top 4 needs to be a winning mentality for Newcastle United. Although it doesn't actually win you anything, getting back into the Champions League, the best of the best, is what's vital for Newcastle United. And of course with the domestic cups, I am going to say, get to the final of one. Now, I know we're just on about winning mentality there, but if we get to the final, and of course, I would much rather an FA Cup than a Carabao Cup. Carabao Cup is certainly less credible, but yet again, it's a trophy. In Newcastle United situation, beggars can't be choosers at all, so any I would be absolutely fantastic for. Yet again, the Conference League is another reason to why it's absolutely detrimental, because if we were in that, we would have won it as well. But, yet again, one of the FA Cups or the Carabao Cups, we have to get to the final. It has to be a priority. And the reason I say at the final and not win is because you already know if we get Manchester United or Liverpool in the final, just write it off. No matter the quality of the teams, if one of the teams has got 10 players out, just write it off. We can just not beat them clubs. Now, there's only one thing I've got left for positives to why Newcastle United are not playing European football. I guess it pretty much paints the idea of what I think about not getting European football. So, the last positive to Newcastle United not getting European football is that we're not going to have as many injuries as we normally do. I've seen that chucked about by a lot of people, and I'm just thinking that shouldn't be a necessity of a fan from a football club to think. It should be the medical team, the physiotherapists and all that sort of stuff actually looked into, rather than the fans just saying, oh, I hope we don't get as many injuries next season, thank God we haven't got Europe. That should not be what we are thinking. That should be, you know, the bog standard basics of a football club, not to get your players injured. It's absolutely farcical. But nevertheless, we will get onto the negatives, and stay tuned as well, by the way, onto why I think Newcastle United not getting European football is detrimental to the club. I mean, you look at it like on paper, it's not good the club not getting Europe. I don't know why people think it is, because my opinion, of course, not getting European football is worse for the club. It's actually pretty straightforward for me. Of course, let me know down below what yours is. But let's get in to the negatives. Number one, money. Arguably, in Newcastle United's current situation as a club and as a whole, probably the most, I'd say, vital reason to why we do need European football. Maybe not because of the exposure, although it does come with that. It's because of the money, your FFPs and your PSRs. It's chucked about with Newcastle United so much, and that could have been one way we could have got extra money, and you could probably bet your money on it. We would have got to at least the semi-final. I mean, looking at the projected pot there, which I will put on the screen now, unfortunately it does have Newcastle United on there, but all of the teams on there, Newcastle United, even Napoli, although I really do rate them, have got some fantastic players in there, like Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, Victor Osimhen. We all know them players. We were linked with them for quite a while, but we are certainly the better team out of all the teams in there, which is absolutely mental, by the way, and we're not even qualifying for it. I'm getting myself a little bit sad now. But yes, the money is certainly a reason to why Newcastle United it will be detrimental, because we need it from every place we can get it, every single penny in this FFP restricted world for Newcastle United, and we've kind of limited ourselves out of one as well. On to the next point though, and I think we've all looked at this as well. Top talents. Bruno Guimaraes, Alexander Isak. Will they stay at Newcastle United knowing we don't have European football, not even Conference League, which some people actually look down on, by the way? How on earth is a club that's not won a trophy for 70 years, you're looking down at a European competition, and we were in relegation battles a few years ago, by the way? Like, that is unbelievable for me just to think that. I know you might all think different, but for me personally, that's absolutely mental. Anyways, no European football, they're going to be thinking, well, of course, they are Champions League footballers. Bruno Guimaraes and Alexander Isak, undoubtedly they are some of the best players in the Premier League, and they're not going to be playing any sort of European football next season. Are they going to stay at Newcastle United? Will it show their ambition? Do they want to be a better player than they already are and get a big move to a higher up team? I don't want to say a big club, because we are a massive club, but you know what I mean, a Manchester City, a Paris Saint-Germain, actually maybe not them rats, Bayern Munich, you know who I mean, your Real Madrids and all them sort of stuff, who play Champions League season in, season out, and win trophies season in, season out. Maybe not Bayern Munich, since Harry Kane has one there, but it's not a good look for the players. We will just say that. But will they leave Newcastle United? I'm going to be honest, I've said this and I've always said this. I believe Newcastle United's project is arguably one of the most exciting that ever has been. The players aren't as thick to know just, oh, Champions League last season, no Europe this season, club's on the downfall now, see you later, lads. We have got the foundations absolutely perfect. We've got the right manager in Eddie Howe, we've got the right players and bought the right players in Isak, Bruno, Botman, Tino, Lewis Hall for the future, many more. Yanko Benitez done fantastic this season. There is many more players. So this project is absolutely fantastic. It's not a car crash like your Man United, like your Chelsea, spending hundreds of millions of pounds and, you know, not doing absolutely anything with that money. So I believe the players aren't that daft, and they know next season, if it is an up to standard season, focus on the Premier League with no European football, we will get Champions League football. Them players are Champions League players, and I think they will stay. Call us a mug and let us know down below what you think, but I do think they stay at this very football club. And if we're speaking about players, it actually links me quite well on to my next point. It's very great for experience building and, of course, building young players. Your Elliot Andersons, your Tino Livermentos, Lewis Halls, Lewis Mileys, the list goes on for the actually fantastic young and up-and-coming players we have at the club. Yanko Beminte, Garan Qual, many more. I've probably forgot a fair few there, to be fair. So I have so many young up-and-coming players to give them these European away days when they've got the rest of the team around them. With all due respect to what would have been a Conference League campaign for Newcastle United, we would have beat pretty much every team in there. So to put the young lads in a winning team in a European competition, you know, away to European teams, just experiencing the culture and all that sort of stuff, it would have been fantastic. It would have been confidence building and experience building as well. But on to the last point, and I think this is overlooked by so many people, but it's the main foundation of football in itself. Football, a football club, it's the football fans. Newcastle United fans do not get to experience their club playing in the sun next season. I mean, I've done it myself personally in the San Siro in Milan, what was an absolutely fantastic time. We've seen with Dortmund, and of course, our trip away to Paris. That one, the less spoke about, the better. But to not see our team play away, challenging for a trophy, which we would have won, by the way, or at least we would have got to the final, and that Newcastle United sort of whatever look would have kicked in. But yeah, the fans not to actually experience Europe, it's detrimental to the fan base in itself. It is a kind of a kick in the below, which I am going to say. It's kind of a kick down there. Kick a man while he's down, shall we say. And it's just another opportunity missed for Newcastle United. Honestly, normally I try to come across as so professional in these videos, but I'm trying to think of reasons, and it's just so gut-wrenching that we don't have Europe next season, man. It's our own fault as well, by the way. I know we can go on, oh, Man United so lucky, Man City didn't play at the best, but it's Newcastle United's fault. We literally dropped 10 points to just Luton and Bournemouth in themselves. It's too out overall, man. But there we have it, lads and lasses. Honestly, I didn't know if I wanted to do this video or not, but nevertheless, we have got it out there, and it is another video uploaded to the channel. So I hope you all did enjoy. Like the video if you did, and of course subscribe if you are new to the Geordie Josh channel for all Newcastle United content. Sorry if this hasn't been my regular, you know, upbeat, positive, bubbly sort of video, but can you really blame us when it's just about 45 minutes now after Newcastle United has just been confirmed that we're not getting European football? Oh, it's absolutely terrible, isn't it, lads? I'm going to go get a burger or sort myself out or something like that. But nevertheless, hope you have enjoyed. I've been Geordie Josh. See you all later, lads.